Shalom. I want to deal with something this morning. I know I'm going ahead. If you're watching the Women's Torah channel, we're in 1 Samuel. And so I've been just listening ahead and reading ahead as well. And dealing with some things this morning under trying to weigh out whether I'm in emotions, and I know it's a spiritual attack, but not to get in my emotions during my spiritual attack, because our emotions are our gauges and not our guides. They alert us to when we need to be attentive to what's going on around us. Emotions heighten your sensitivity, but you're not supposed to act in emotions. It says, be angry and sin not. Not to fret, not to worry, because Yah is the sustainer and He is in control and He is our guide. He is the lamp unto our feet and the light unto our path. So, with that being said, I know I'm going to talk about some affirmations today, because as I share, I'm ministering to you, but I'm sharing with you, but I'm ministering to my soul, to myself. We are vehicles. We are human vehicles, but we are spiritual beings inhabiting human vehicles that are able to feel and see and go through and make choices and decisions, and ultimately to choose to live in the eternal abode with Yah, as we walk out the commandments. And we're a light. And Yah just put something in my spirit this morning, because I'm frustrated. I won't elaborate, but I'm frustrated. And He reminded me of something that happened to me in the 3rd grade, and it's so funny, but it's kind of, I like to give little stories because it just helps to make things more practical as we go through. In the 3rd grade, I was quiet, and I still am very quiet. I watch everything, but very quiet and just watched things and listened. And there was another young lady like that, and where there were school bullies. And the two of us that were the same, you would have, we had different sets of friends. So you had friends that kind of instigated and egged on situations. So in the 3rd grade, me and a friend, we ended up being friends in high school, which was funny. But in 3rd grade, we were nemesis because of a set of friends. This friend would egg on this situation, and I was quiet, so push her, pull her hair, that kind of thing. See if you can antagonize or make her engage me. And so one day we were both just fed up. I was fed up because her and her friends who were bullies, her more or less being evoked or encouraged by her bullies to keep bullying me. We get to the middle of the school blacktop, you know how that goes after tetherball, and fight. And I had a friend, and I played with boys because I didn't do the emotional girl stuff, the nitpicky. Boys didn't start drama. We just played sand, flips, throw dirt, kick balls, that kind of thing. And on occasion, I would go sit out in the grass and pick the dandelions and the flowers, but not often, because I didn't do the catty stuff. And I did not like to be provoked past where I didn't know what I would do, but I didn't like anger or to show certain emotions. Long story short, fight. My friend, he's like, oh no, today you're done with the whole picking on thing. You're gonna fight her. And her friend, her brother standing behind her, he puts rings on her fingers and he's coaching her. And that was just a picture of spiritual attacks and the enemy. So what ended up having to happen was my friend, because I'm standing there and she's just talking, he just pushed me, and no, you're going to fight today. So immediately you push and we bump each other. And the story ends. I end up with a black eye. She had a ring on. She hit me in the eye. It was a mess. And so all through elementary school, I ended up going to another school the following year because we moved. And elementary school, we didn't see each other. Junior high, we meet up, and she still had a group of friends, and we would see each other catching the bus, and we were cordial. But in high school, we ended up being friends because we shared stories and we had more in common than we didn't, and we did not like each other. It was all of the other things, other components that were going on. And so it just brought me to a story where Yah was like, it brought me to the story in 1 Samuel 18, verse 1 through 4 or 5. And what I was thinking I was in the shower this morning, and when he just spoke to me, and I was like thinking on some other things, and he's like, okay, I removed you from this situation. I removed you from this situation. That's why he brought the story to mind. He said, do you remember when you just had to be nudged into that fight? You're just sitting along on the edge, and your miracle is waiting for you. It's waiting, but you got to go get it. You can't keep straddling the fence. You can't stay in this comfortable space. And where I'm at now is in not even a comfortable space. It's just in a space where I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything about a certain situation. I'm just going to let it happen. But it's been happening, and now it's time for you. Because I usually in this instance, it's a relationship. Usually I just let them fizzle out and let the other person go ahead about their business, and they finalize it. But in the earthly sense, the situation has already been finalized because of the continual behaviors of a person. And y'all just reminded me of something today and just confirmed it in this scripture. So I'm going to read it to you. And it came to pass when he made an end of speaking, which is Dawid, and he goes before Shaul, and he goes to be his armor bearer, and he'd been playing the harp for him because he was tormented because of his behaviors, continually going before Yah and doing what he wanted to do. So the kingdom was rent from him. That's a sad story within itself, but just wanted to bring you into context. And when it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking to Shaul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Shaul took him that day and let him go no more home to his father's house, because he knew his father wanted to do harm to him, right? Then Jonathan and David cut a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that he was upon him, and gave it to David, and his garment, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his belt. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set himself over the war, and he accepted the sight of all the people, and all the sight of Shaul's servants. And we're not going to even deal with all the other sick stuff that carnal minds like to think about. Friendships and relationships and male relationships and covenants. And because we know from an Eastern and a Hebraic thought that, first of all, we followed commandments, right? So homosexuality was not an option. And yeah, if there were strange affections, they were purged from the land. We're talking about loving someone as your own soul. And so when I say we are spiritual beings having a human experience, we are light, and we forget that luminaries or fallen ones portray themselves as angels of light also. And the darkness is attracted to the light, right? And if the darkness can overcome the light, it sucks it in. So with that being said, I want to deal with love. And so y'all basically is like, yeah, I'm pushing you into this fight because we're going to end this. Because I had made a statement the other day. I was speaking to a friend of mine, and I was like, you know what? I want to experience love. Unadulterated, unselfish, untainted love. Selfless love. And this scripture is a picture of that. Selfless love, where I'm willing to give you the amenities or the things that make me to love and cover and protect you. I'm willing to lay down and strip myself of my garments, of my priestly, I'm not my priestly, but of my royal position. I am the king. Jonathan was the king's son. David was a shepherd boy. I'm the king's son. And to show you how much I love you, it's such a picture of Yahshua. I will strip myself of my vesture, down to the weapon that protects me. I'll give you that because I love you, and I know that you love me, because we have coveted in our hearts to love one another. I know that with my very vessels, you will protect me if I give them to you. That's a picture of love. And that's what us as women, a lot of us have not experienced, and we find ourselves broken. So I am just, y'all just keeps pouring into my spirit about this beauty from brokenness. And if you've been listening to me, and if you watch my channel, if you watch a lot of my lessons, I have been in a place, or in a position of brokenness, humility, always being completely humbled to the point of sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know if I can take anymore. I'm completely crushed, the threshing floor, you know. But it's where I've realized that Yah gets the best out of me. Now, do I want to stay there? I want to stay in his presence, and I assume if I continue to stay in certain situations, he gonna get the praise and the glory any way he wants to, because I am his, right? And if I want to stay in this comfort zone, then okay, if I can get the best out of you by allowing this other vessel, who is perceived to be an angel of light, who confessed to be isn't, but is controlled by another spirit. Because again, like I said, we are vehicles. The same thing, you can see Saul in this. Oh, tell him I'm sorry. Come back. I won't harm him. Even down to tears. And then soon as the spirit came over, you shucking javelins at him. And so it runs parallel right now with what I'm dealing with at my lowest. And my heart is to serve and to love and to bring wholeness and completeness. And I want it first in my family, in my home, in my household. And the enemy will use those things in our hearts and tell us, oh yes, in the form of a man especially. Even in some friendships, you'll meet people and they will say, oh yeah, I feel this way and I do this. Oh girl, yeah, I'm the same way. But you have to watch the behaviors, because if I don't love you like I love my own soul, or if I treat you like I treat myself, and with our eyes we witness a person behaving a certain way and not caring for themselves and following laws, statutes, and commandments, and they've testified against themselves, and they're liars. Our actions tell on us. Our children tell on us. I say that often. I watch kids play a lot, and you listen to them. Give them a doll and see what they do. Sometimes you'll see them sitting the doll down. You'll see different kids do different things with dolls: nurturing, feeding, rocking them. Then you'll see some of them just beating the heck out the dolls, and I'm like, woo. So observational evidence is very important. In this walk, we have to listen to, we have so much to battle with. We battle in duality every day. So we have, first of all, our worst enemy is self, because a lot of times we're self-serving, and then situations come and we want to say it's Yah ordained, and it's not. It is the enemy, the one who portrays as an angel, who masquerades as an angel of light, and that we allow in our presence, that will give us what we think, what we say we want, because he's heard you say it, he or she, and pretends to be this person. But then sooner or later the mask comes off. Let's start watching deeds. Deeds don't lie. Words lie. People lie. Your actions don't lie. Even if a person does something, I always say, under the influence of alcohol or anything else, out of the abundance of my heart, and when my inhibitions are down, my mouth will speak, my actions will speak, because there is no rain. There are no rains on the emotions or on the person. In anger, your mouth will speak, and it will testify against you. That's why a lot of times I pray, yeah, I said guard over my mouth, hold my tongue, because those things that have been slow cooking in my heart will come up, that I've been praying for y'all to deal with, and I keep putting them in a compartmentalizing them. So many of us are walking around here trying to pick up the pieces to a box that Yah has already broke. And I think that's where I am in this season, is compartmentalizing my junk. What's mine, what's not mine, what I can do something about, what is only Yah's business, and what is mine's of personal choice. And then I have the junk, the garbage bag that I need to throw the junk in. So I know in this season it's about me cleaning out my junk drawer, decompartmentalizing, stop putting other people's junk in my box, and allowing other people's spiritual battles to affect me, or to even joining light forces with darkness, and the dark that illuminates is light. A friend. Love you as I love myself, and our souls connect. Let's stay prayerful. Again, like I said, we are in a battle. We are in a constant battle, and it's not selfish to need one another. It's selfish to bleed on one another and not want to accept the band-aid or the wholeness of the surgeon when he's trying to perfect you. So right now in my perfecting season, I'm being pushed beyond my boundaries. I've been shoved into a situation, not into a situation, shoved past my comfort zone. And because of fear of the unknown, what's going to happen once I do this. But Yah's like, you said you trust me. So I thank him right now for the season that I'm in. I'm praying that if you are in a season where you are battling duality, brokenness, navigating through the light, through the dark, and being bombarded by those who are attracted to your light and say that they are vessels of light, and their actions keep showing you that they aren't, I'm praying that you stay in your word to have a plumb line or something to measure up to the character traits and the flaws that people are revealing to you. Pray for me as I pray for you. And I thank you for supporting and listening to me. I thank you for those who pray, who the thoughts and prayers. I thank you for just having a team and a tribe of people praying for the kingdom, for this, for women and men in this walk. Be encouraged. Stay encouraged. Stay in your word. And again, thank you for listening to me as I am really encouraging myself and being pushed out of my comfort zone and sharing with you. Shalom.